Hi guys, Holly Millican here from South Grafton High School, and this is my 5th video on making maths fun. Now this video I wanted to explore something slightly different with you guys. I wanted to explore taking mathematics outside of the classroom, trying to integrate a series of activities over a course of different topics where kids actually get to get out of the classroom, so learning the content but in a different way that's not only hands-on but gets them relating their concepts to the real world. Now my first activity is something called Parabola Selfie. This activity tries to move students from seeing nonlinear relationships as just a random line on a Cartesian plane in their books into something that they can actually see in the real world, something they can identify and go, hey, I know that's a parabola, I know what that looks like. So this activity really engages the kids because it has a few steps. They need to go out into the real world and find a parabola somewhere, can be anywhere. They then need to firstly take a selfie with the parabola, showing that they did indeed find it themselves and they haven't just taken a picture off the internet. Then they need to take a picture of the parabola on its own and we upload it to Desmos in class so that they can graph the parabola, find its axis of symmetry, find its vertices, and find the equation of the line. So this falls under the 5.3 strand, and I would usually do this activity with a top year 10 class because it is quite in-depth. Students are then asked to swap their parabola with someone else's and see if they come up with the correct answer for the vertices, the axis of symmetry, and the equation of the line. Now kids actually get really interested and excited with this because they get to get a bit creative, and the amount of random results that I have had back from students where I didn't even think in my head, oh yeah, that's a parabola looking at it, but the students have gone out and gone, hey, look, the back of my shoe, that's a parabola, I can use that. Hey, look, I'm holding up a charging cord, that's a parabola, I can use that. So it's a really good activity to get students really quite engaged. So if you go on to Teachers Pay Teachers and type in Parabola Selfie, this is the assignment you should see popping up. It's got steps to take you through the whole activity as well as a marking rubric if you wanted to use it as, say, an investigation task. My second activity is Bag Algebra. For this activity, I usually have students working in groups of 2 to 4. They are given this worksheet, some working out space. I'll usually provide a mini whiteboard for them to make it a bit fun, and a variety of bean bags. Now students are then to take turns running up to the pre-drawn chalk circles and tossing their bean bags into the circle that contains the number of their choice. Then as a team, they are to substitute this into each of the equations on the worksheet. This activity promotes collaboration and focuses not only on content knowledge, but on teamwork skills as well. And it can very easily be adapted away from algebra to multiplication, addition, or harder concepts like Pythagoras as well. My third activity is one called Yahtzee Relay. This is another algebra-style activity which requires a little bit of strategy on the part of the students. The students are split into groups and are given this worksheet. They are to pick up a dice from one of the hula hoops down one end of the balcony. They are then to run it down to the rest of their group and roll it. They can then decide if they want to use the number rolled to try and answer one of the questions on the worksheet. The winning team is the one who completely finishes their worksheet first. This game does require a measure of strategies, and the competition style layout really engages the students. Now this is the sort of activity that doesn't have to remain just with algebra. It is quite easy to adapt it into a whole host of other content as well, to use it with a whole range of different topics. At the end of the day, mathematics doesn't have to be one of those things where students come in, they sit down and they do a bunch of questions out of the textbook. It is something that you can take the kids outside to do, you can make it engaging and you can make it fun. So these are just a few activities to try and help you jumpstart your own teaching with making maths a little bit fun and doing it a little bit differently.